What's up, YouTube? Hudson Man 2 here. Today I've got something I normally do not do, and I haven't done in maybe, I don't know, a year. I'm doing a discussion, but I've got my buddy Ricki here. Say hello, Ricki.
Hey everybody, it's MLB11XNC22. I am with Hudson Man 2.
And we are talking about Link Summon.
Yeah, the new mechanic that just got revealed this morning. And boy, Lord have mercy, this has shaken the entire foundation of the game as we know it.
So, let's see. Where to start?
Well, I say before we get to the main mechanic itself and how it works, should we give them a history lesson on mechanics themselves?
I mean, if they know, really, I say we give our opinions last, and let's just explain the mechanic.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty much. Let me think. Let me figure out the right words to say this.
Mind if I try?
You go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, on my screen, I actually have the Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization page. Like the website right now where it talks about the new rules.
Yeah.
Now this right here is a Link monster. This is Decode Talker. Let's see here. Basically, to me it reminds me of a fusion between XZ summoning and Synchro summoning. Because you have to send the materials to the graveyard to get this new monster.
You know, and also if you look at its pattern, it reminds me of Ritual a little bit.
Well, that's just because of the color.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing: if you put Ritual and Link beside each other, Link is pretty much a more darker shade of blue.
They ran out of colors.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Let's see here. You can Link summon something from your extra deck by sending the same number of monsters that require written in the card's effect box, whose total equal the number to the Link monster from the... Honestly, guys, I'm waiting for Konami to officially do a video for this because it hurts my head.
I know exactly how it works. Okay, basically, you're looking at the monster itself, right?
Decode Talker?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right here.
Look at the bottom right. Do you see that little box?
He's a Link 3.
Yes, and how it works is basically it's very simple. Say you have 3 monsters on board. You send these 3 monsters to the graveyard and put this thing in your new extra monster zone.
Well, where does he come from?
Extra deck. It's an extra deck monster.
Ah.
Yeah, and once you summon him, you look at the markers that are pretty much on its picture. You got one going up, one going bottom left, and one going bottom right. The bottom left and right, say you have it in your extra zone right now. The monster zones that are adjacent from the bottom left and bottom right of those markers, you can summon Xyz, Synchro monsters, and Fusion monsters into those according zones.
And those monsters are linked. The monsters that are in the, if it's like the left, right, and the two, like the left and right, a left zone and a right zone. You can use, like, I could overlay those 2 monsters, like if they were level 4, I could overlay those monsters and summon Utopia.
Just a minute, please. Oh, hold on a minute.
Give me 1 sec, guys. I'm gonna pause real quick. I paused it, but is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So, if I have 2 level 4 monsters in the zones that are linked to Decode Talker, I can still overlay those monsters to create Utopia. to still
And
go for Utopia and Utopia Beyond.
yes, the thing is, once you have a link monster in your extra monster zone, that's when you can, according to those markers, summon fusion seeker excuse monsters into the main monster zones that are not far from those markers.
Here's a question.
Yes.
Even though I'm pretty sure neither of us have the answer, what about polymerization? The effect about fusing from the hand.
Well, if you're fusing monsters from the hand, the monsters in your hand would most likely go to the graveyard.
Not what I mean, though. Since you're not using monsters that are in the designated linked zones.
So, I'm guessing, for example, there is no link monster there, right?
And you would activate let's say you're using Cybers and you have 3 Cyber Dragons in your hand, you want to fuse for Cyber and Dragon.
You're wondering, where would Cyber and Dragon go?
Because you can't summon him.
It would go into the extra monster zone.
So then it would occupy the space that Decode Talker.
It would occupy the space that a link monster would be in. Yes. And the thing is, there are 2 of these extra zones, but at the beginning of the duel, these 2 zones don't belong to any player. So once you get one zone, the other person gets the other.
Although extra deck monsters can only be summoned to the extra deck zone normally, if you have a link monster in the extra monster zone, the zones pointed to by their markers can be used to summon extra deck monsters. So if you get a link summon out quickly, you can bring out Fusion Xyz, Synchro, and Xyz monsters in succession. Of course, you can summon another link monster in these zones. So if you play your cards right, you can fill your entire main monster zone with extra deck monsters. The new metagame will come. Oh. Dude, this reminds me of back in the day. The cards that allow you to move your monsters, those are going to go up in price. I need to actually pick up some of them.
Yeah, the thing is, like I said, the new mechanic may be confusing at first, but over time, people will get used to it. It's going to just be another mechanic to everybody.
Right now, we're scratching our head. I'm already thinking, and these link monsters are going to be splashable.
They are. Most of them are generic, so they can be splashed with any deck.
Like Decode Talker. You could splash 2 Decode Talkers into, say, for example, you and me using Lightsworn, so we could splash him in there.
And the thing is, here's something also cool that you didn't know. Say you have no monsters in your main monster zone and you have just a Decode Talker, they cannot attack your life points directly unless that monster is destroyed.
Now here's a question. Will cards like Ricki, Darkhole, cards that allow you to destroy monsters, will they work on him?
Well, he's a monster, so it should.
But I think we've explained a bit of it. Let's give our final thoughts.
To me, in my personal opinion, I do like the fact that this mechanic, like I've been saying, the game has been very fast for the last several years, and this was something that needed to be done. I mean, think about it. Special summoning is so much faster than normal summoning, and with this being the new summoning mechanic, it's going to slow down special summoning to where, basically, in my opinion, normal summoning and special summoning are going to be equalized. And not only that, yes, it does kill a whole bunch of decks, but that doesn't mean the deck is totally dead. You just gotta rebuild it in a certain way.
I, in my opinion, still do not like this. Like, I'm understanding how it works, but to me, just the absolute the overall change of your board is just overwhelming. The fact that the Pendulum Zones no longer have their own zones, that you have to play your extra deck monsters in a certain zone. You can't enjoy just I mean, to me, you know what monster's going to... You know what deck I'm probably going to end up running, honestly? Exodia.
That's not a bad idea. I mean, Exodia's never needed an extra deck, so that... I know another deck that could be good in this type of era. Monarchs. Monarchs don't need an extra deck. Same goes for Grandma's Udaiza. You don't need a deck of extra to run a banishment deck.
But decks like Lightsworn, Synchron, Dark Synchron.
Actually, Lightsworn, if built correctly, they can actually survive without an extra deck.
But that would make monsters like Raiden useless, other than his mill effect.
Other than his mill effect, or him being used as an Xyz material.
I'm saying if you can't, since overlay is going to be slowed down severely.
Yeah, that's true. But on the other hand, I could see that with the new support that Lightsworns are going to be getting, and most likely they're getting the new support that was all revealed earlier this morning in Code of the Duelist. I think that's when they'll be getting their new cards. But the thing is, the two new cards they got are the very first two Dark Lightsworn monsters. This new monster is the very first Dark...
Sworn?
Yeah, it's the very first Dark... It's pretty much their Dark cousin, basically.
But anyway, guys, we just wanted to give our 2 cents on linked summoning.
Yeah. So
we do. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave us a like down below. We would greatly appreciate it. But
and remember to and if you want to see amazing Yu-Gi-Oh content, subscribe to our channels.
Yep. So I'm Hudson Man 2.
This will be 11XNC22 saying, see you later.
And hopefully you guys can survive the headache like we can't. See ya.